Thanks for joining us today. My name is Tom Wisniewski. I'm a product marketing manager for Microsoft Dynamics 365. My team focuses on helping on-premise Dynamics customers work through important modernization considerations associated with moving to the cloud. Today we're going to spend some time addressing those common migration misconceptions that often slow cloud journeys and place organizations at greater risk. And we'll be doing that with a team from across Microsoft. So my first question is, has your perception of the cloud kept up with advancements in technology? Impacts to supply chains, worksite strategies, and consumer behavior continue to test organizations and solutions alike, compelling most businesses to reassess whether their legacy systems, processes, and infrastructure can provide the necessary agility to remain competitive. Despite recent disruptions, many business and IT leaders are still weighing their move and even their cloud strategies based on outdated information or perceptions of the available technology. In talking to on-premise Dynamics AX and Dynamics CRM customers, they often point to the same cloud objections for justifying remaining where they are. How many of you believe or have heard one of these within your own organizations with respect to the cloud? Our on-premise solution is good enough, it's doing the job. We are unique as an organization and we have too many customizations to consider moving. The sheer cost of migration or the cloud itself is too much, and the cloud is just not secure. Moving to the cloud is no small decision. These are large projects whose success is often dependent on cross-functional and end-user buy-in, and I really empathize. You have some important modernization decisions ahead. The longer you remain on-premise, the more your organization is at a disadvantage compared to your peers. COVID has changed the technology landscape. Retailers, healthcare, and manufacturing leaders alike now realize that digital transformation is an ongoing necessity. The cloud offers elasticity, sustainability, and availability that on-premise solutions simply cannot. For organizations looking to bolster their resiliency, they often look to the cloud because it enables them to consolidate, integrate, and analyze their data, leveraging it as an asset to accelerate growth. These are just some of the impacts that those cloud-enabled organizations have realized over the last couple of years. 62% increase in satisfaction within their customer base, 44% faster time to market, 54% increase in profits, and a 60% decrease in security incidents. While these stats directly refute some of those misconceptions, I'd like to spend some time digging into each one of them. The right information at the right time can make all the difference. Though tested by COVID, this notion that on-premise is good enough often translates to an organization being uninformed of the flexibility and functionality possible in the cloud, or unclear of what it takes to maintain their on-premise solution. Since knowledge is power, I wanted to talk through these differences with my colleague, Arun Piskala. Hey Arun, how's it going?
Hey Tom, thanks for having me here.
So Arun, we're addressing some common cloud misconceptions, and I wanted to talk through a classic one for you. My on-premise solution is good enough. What are some of the areas that organizations often don't consider when comparing their on-premise solution to the cloud?
That's a great question, Tom. Today, customers have deployed and maintained their application on-site at their own data centers. Database upkeep of the hosted business application is completely on the organization. The data from these applications are often siloed. For example, sharing data between Dynamics AX 2012 and Dynamics CRM is difficult and requires SQL queries or data integration projects to keep these two applications in sync. And to surface the data and relationship for reporting purposes is also difficult. Finally, upgrading business process or bug fixes often require hot fixes. But due to the amount of customization with an on-prem solution that overlap with the standard Microsoft objects, it becomes difficult for customers to take any updates from Microsoft. All customers want to have robust disaster recovery or failover system for their critical business applications. But in real, most of the customers would have never tried or tested their disaster recovery steps with their own on-premise solutions.
So what would you say are some of the biggest advantages of moving to the cloud?
Customers will gain the ability to leverage your data across Dynamics products, the full suite of Microsoft product portfolio, and a robust set of third-party apps. Customers can utilize cloud intelligence tools like Power BI, predictive analytics, Azure machine learning, and Power Platform can help to analyze your business data, allowing you to make more informed decisions. Dynamics 365 lets customers connect all their data for a full view of their business and give you the ability to access data from the familiar solutions like Microsoft Office 365 and Power BI. They will also have access to the pre-built applications developed by Microsoft and select partners, as well as the ability to build and customize your own apps. Increase in customers' business ability to stay current and roll out new capabilities quickly by providing customer users with the latest capability of productivity and mobility are some of the advantages of moving to the cloud.
Thanks, Arun. The gap between on-premise and cloud solution is growing, and for good reason. Innovation among cloud now outpaces on-premise development. With end of support dates nearing, this gap will only continue to grow, limiting productivity gains and configurability that an organization might see with Power Apps, Power Automate, or Power BI functionality. Only the cloud will allow you to scale and grow. Moving to the cloud is no small decision. These are large technology projects that take planning and resources. With customizations do add complexity, these modifications should not preclude you from moving to the cloud. Out-of-the-box functionality, low-code, no-code extensions, and ISV applications often now eliminate the need for your legacy customizations. I've asked my colleague Beth Burrell to join us to talk through these technology advancements and how they can simplify your migration. Hey Beth, how's it going?
Hey Tom, thanks for having me.
So Beth, we're talking through some common cloud concerns, and I want to get your perspective on the complexity of migration. Do organizations need to rewrite their customizations prior or in preparation to moving to the cloud?
So not really. That's a misconception. Usually they have, there's something called App Checker that they can check their information. But what they would want to do is use the out-of-box functionality as much as possible because the cloud has so much more functionality. But a lot of those customizations can be easily ported into the cloud and rewritten later if needed. But 95% of it will port easily up into the cloud. They just have to move it into online and they're ready to go.
What about data integrations? How complicated is that in the cloud?
So that's a good question. The nice thing about Power Platform and Dynamics is it runs on the Dataverse. It's a common data platform. We call it CDP. And all the data is held into that common data platform. And Microsoft has over 400 plus connectors that connect to other systems to pull in data. And those are all out of the box. There's nothing to do but have a login and password. And it'll pull those data into your Dataverse. And you'll easily consolidate that data into one spot. And it's a lot easier than you have on-prem, because on-prem there's a lot more moving of data.
And finally, Beth, what about the investments that Microsoft is making to help simplify the migration process?
So there's an on-prem to online factory. That's amazing. And right now it's, Microsoft's made the investment that any customer can use it, no matter how small or how large. And it's an easy task. They upload their database and the factory actually migrates it to the cloud. It can be any version from CRM 2011 and up, and they'll do all the hard work for you. You just have to do the mitigation once it's in the cloud and make sure all your functionality works. So they're great. I've done a couple hundred of those with the on-prem to online factory, and they really are a great team to work with.
Thanks, Beth. As with good enough, product innovation is at the forefront here. Alongside expanded functionality and flexibility, Microsoft is making investments that help simplify the migration process overall. Whether you think of moving to the cloud as a digital transformation, a re-implementation, or simple migration of your current on-premise solution and infrastructure, these are sizable technology projects. Your organization should consider the cost as part of your cloud strategy. However, it's important to put those costs into perspective. And to do that, I've asked my colleague, Leo Manson, to join us. Hey, Leo, how's it going?
Hey, Tom, good to see you. How you doing?
Really good, thanks. So, Leo, we're tackling some common cloud misconceptions, and I've given you a big one, cost. How should an organization think about the cost of the cloud?
Well, I guess the thing that people need to really look at, they have to look at it holistically. Most people, when they take a look at it, they actually realize that the cost is actually more, or the cloud rather, is more cost effective than the being on premise. And so, for example, it's hidden costs that people oftentimes forget. For example, hardware. Hardware has to be maintained. It has to be upgraded, especially in the area of servers. When you have an on-premise solution, obviously that's a big part of it. So taking away that burden from the company of actually having to maintain servers and such is a big cost saver that people oftentimes overlook. Then there's the IT staff themselves. IT staffs oftentimes, when they're in an on-premise environment, are spending a bulk of their time maintaining the current solution on-premise. That costs a lot of time, but even more, there's an opportunity cost of them not being able to work on more strategic projects. And so that's one area that can really benefit a company if they are able to take their IT team and work on things that just have more value to adding business value to the company. And then there's the whole issue around security. That's obviously a huge area for everybody, and every company needs to have an investment in security. But when it comes to the application side of the house and the data side of the house, if you put the burden on the provider like Microsoft, that's what we do. That's what we're known for, and give us that benefit. Give us that so that we can actually help you not have to spend as much money and much time on that area. So those are three kind of hidden costs that are oftentimes are overlooked, Tom.
And so, Leo, we talked to Beth about the investments that Microsoft is making on the efficiency side of things. What investments has Microsoft made on to help customers understand the value and impact possible of the cloud on their organization?
Yeah, that's a big area. We put a lot of time and effort into that because it is a hard area for people to really grasp. So what we've done is we worked with Forrester Research, for example, and they've created something they call a total economic impact study. We've done it for both the AX product as well as the CRM products. It's an economic impact of migrating from your on-premise solution directly to the cloud. And the way that works is that they interview a number of our customers who have gone through that process anonymously, but then they put together a report that talks about the various aspects, the things that we talked about, places you might save money, places you might gain productivity, and they put together in a really nice report. And it gives you a nice, good overview. And the whole purpose of that report is not to make it look exactly like your company, because it won't. But what it is going to do for you is that it's going to stimulate your thinking and maybe make you think about some things that you hadn't looked at before that the study will help you do. And then one other area that I always like to suggest people do is, in addition to looking at studies and reports from third parties, talk to your partner or talk to your Microsoft contact, and they have some tools that they could put together for you to kind of more personalize the study so that you can really take a hard look at costs on your own.
Thanks, Leo. Leo's point, I think, is an important one. When evaluating a solution, most organizations just look at the surface costs. When reevaluating any technology, you need to consider the total cost of operation and the total cost of ownership for that solution. Maintaining your on-premise ERP or CRM may be cheaper for the moment, but those costs are only going to get more expensive as time passes. Data preservation is a concern for most organizations. Vulnerabilities within your IT infrastructure and processes can leave systems susceptible to external threats and exploitation. I've asked my colleague Michael Crowley to join us to talk through the current security landscape and how Microsoft can help protect your business from potential threats and concerns. Hey, Michael, how's it going?
Good, Thomas. Thank you for this chance to spend some time with you and our customers.
Of course. So, Michael, we're confronting some common cloud misconceptions today, so I thought you'd be perfect for this one. The cloud isn't safe. What can you tell us about the current state of cloud security threats?
Yeah, happy to do that. This is a big topic, and certainly a concern for every business owner, every CEO, every CISO in a company, and every CIO also. So we find that cloud security is paramount on people's minds today. And thinking about that a step back, it's security in general. Cyber hacking, cybersecurity, and breaches, has become a criminal organization and operation over the last 10 years. It's moved from that small individual hacker and low, nuisance type of hacking that used to go on, and it now has been incorporated into criminal operations with targeted worldwide on different companies. And there's really no company and no business sector that is safe from that, whether it's governments or commercial or small business and healthcare and nonprofits. They're all targeted for cloud security attacks today and cybersecurity attacks, moreover. So we find that has become top of mind. It should be a very relevant business concern for all of our customers, and something that we at Microsoft think about quite a bit. We say here that security is designed into everything we do, and you will see that in how we build our products, from whether it's hardware, software, and the seams in between, which is a real big area of penetration and hacking breaches, is when you have multiple different types of deployments within your environment. They're all subject to seam breaches, where a hacker will be able to get in on one point and ladder their way up to another.
So, Michael, what would you say are some of the pros and cons of on-premise risk management versus what's possible in the cloud?
Yeah, that's a big conversation, isn't it? And that has transversed over the last 10 years as the majority of industries, certainly in larger enterprises, have moved to the cloud and found that operation to be very effective. Smaller businesses, perhaps not as much, haven't really had the trust and confidence to be able to move it out of their back office data center and the control opportunity that they have with everything that's on premise, to be able to move that to the cloud. And it feels like they're relinquishing that ability to take control and command of their own security. But the truth of the matter is that the highest level of breaches occur on premise. And the higher level of damages, there was a Foster study that looked at whether there is cloud, the cost of a cloud penetration and breach versus an on-premise. And the numbers and statistics line up that cloud is much safer. And there's a lot of variables for this. There's certainly that own trust and confidence you have in your own IT, that you feel like it's in command and you're able to know where you're at and have access to your own servers and update your own software. But the administrative overhead and the speed and velocity of some cyber attacks doesn't allow you the response time, where the cloud really does have automated opportunities and automated updates and patches that can take place to be able to protect you for that. When we look at, I think about 89% of the majority of breaches that have taken place in the last few years have all been on known patches or known bugs. Right? There are areas out there that are flaws that hackers will take advantage of. When we talk about on-premise and cloud, the strength of cloud security is the ability to have the protection of automation going on in the cloud for you. So you don't have hardware that's failing in your back office, and you don't have patches that have to be updated by your own team and keep up with that activity. Those are automatically taken care of. So you'll always have the latest revision. The other thing about that is, since cyber breaches and hacks are happening all the time, there's an ever-going cat and mouse chase where cyber hackers are looking for weaknesses, and publication, authors like ourselves and Microsoft are sealing those up as they find breaches. We're building insecurity, but they're working around those things. So the cloud does provide a much safer environment and is less fraught with higher administrative costs, and those things are automatically provided for you. So you're not, in this world today, you need to be constantly on guard for cyber hacks and cyber breaches. In the cloud, that's being taken care of for you. Otherwise, you have to have dedicated resources that are working 24/7 on that in your own back office.
Finally, Michael, what would you say the future of threat protection looks like?
I think that because we see the velocity and the magnitude of cyber hacking that's going on, both from state actors and from criminal organizations and opportunists. The way to be able to respond to this and be aware of this is through AI. And that's an end game, but Microsoft is already scanning 400 billion emails, looking for those phishing, type of malware that's out there. And those things don't happen in isolation; they happen in mass. And so, if you remember the NotPetya that went on quite a few years ago, and how quickly that spread around the world, taking advantage of an out of support on-premise operating system, we have the ability to see these things taking place and identify the patterns and digital signals that malware represents when it starts to spread through a network, and quickly respond to that. I think that AI becomes a solution as well as integrated security. We've moved from this position of firewalls where we used to build a big moat around us and high walls in your business, and you wouldn't let people in from the outside. But the truth of the matter is today, we need to assume that we've all been breached already, that there's active, intrusions going on, that there's active identity theft taking place. And that's really how the zero trust framework is structured. It assumes that you are under attack, and every one of your domains in your organization, whether it's devices or infrastructure or identity or data privacy, it allows to challenge those things at every point and creates a higher level of detection, not just on your outside barrier, but in every aspect of your environment. And so that's where it's really important and beneficial to you to have consistency between your infrastructure and your desktops and your policy and privacy and conditions for data management and data privacy. Microsoft does provide all of that seamlessly across those different types of software installations or functions, workloads within your business.
Thanks so much, Michael. I really appreciate your insight. Protecting your business and customer data with built-in platform capabilities from the leader in cloud-native security like Microsoft is important. We're investing over $1 billion annually in security with 3,500 full-time security professionals using AI tools to analyze 8 trillion signals daily and respond to threats from around the world 24/7. We're the experts, so you don't have to be. Thanks so much again, Michael.
Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate this time.
Microsoft is uniquely suited to help, whether it's improving time to value and reducing costs, creating agility with an open, extendable platform, or enabling you to evolve your worksite strategy. Microsoft has the tools and resources and experience necessary to assist with your transformation. Elasticity, scalability, and availability have never been more important. While COVID was the latest economic disruption, it won't be the last. These are just a few of the drivers we've heard from customers that have accelerated their cloud adoption. The ability to reduce hardware and support maintenance costs, scale based on need or seasonality, or shift IT resources to focus on important strategic initiatives will be critical to how your organization responds to disruption and adapts to changing business needs. Is your organization ready? Technology is just one component of innovation. Leadership buy-in, a supportive culture, and end-user guidance are essential to ensuring a successful transformation. We developed the Dynamics 365 migration program to help on-premise AX and CRM customers chart and accelerate their path to the cloud. Program benefits include dedicated Microsoft advisors to help through every step from start to finish, conduct an assessment for a comprehensive look at what moving to the cloud would mean for your organization, access exclusive pricing offers and promotions to help ease migration costs, and leverage our worldwide network of specialized AX and CRM partners. Regardless of where you are in your journey, the Dynamics 365 migration program has the expertise and resources to help. Dynamics AX and Dynamics CRM customers face some important decisions, but you're not alone. Technology partners are an important extension of Microsoft, offering implementation and industry expertise to every deployment. Like Dynamics 365 itself, they are themselves an investment. And selecting the right migration partner to assist you in transitioning should be also considered. I've asked my colleague Peter Jensen to join us to talk through this. Hey, Peter, how's it going? Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, hi, Tom. Good to see you. I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, thanks. So, Peter, we spent some time addressing some common cloud misconceptions today, but I wanted to cap our discussion on partners. We both know that they play an important role in every technology implementation. What would you say are some of the key areas or questions that an organization should ask when selecting a migration partner?
Yeah, great question, Tom. Look, the most successful customers, they think about three things: the partner, the people, and the potential, right? And so for the partner, they ask hard questions about what kind of migrations have the partner that they're looking at done, and how have they gone, and how many have they done. And they also ask questions around what kind of competencies as a partner do you have? Do you have the cloud business application competency or the BizApps solution partner designation? And they also ask questions around what kind of industry references do you have? Can you show me that you understand my business? You can help me migrate to the cloud. And then they turn to people and they say, what kind of people are going to be working on my project? Are these going to be certified people? What kind of certifications are they going to have? Are those certifications relative to relevant to my project? And they ask about how are you going to assign resources pre-deployment, during the deployment, and post-deployment? And as we transition to support, how are you going to maintain resourcing this project going forward? So those are things they ask about people. And then around potential, this is around the long-term objectives you have as a customer. Is this the right partner, not just to migrate you now, but also to help you really drive the next step of your digital transformation? And so they look at what other specialized skills does the partner have in some of our other Dynamics 365 applications.
Thanks, Peter. Really appreciate the insights.
Yeah, my pleasure, Tom.
If you're not sure where to start, I recommend joining our Dynamics 365 migration community. It consolidates all of our resources and content on migration into one place while connecting you with the expertise to make timely, informed business decisions. As Leo mentioned, you can also connect with your Microsoft representative or partner. They are a great resource as well. I hope you found this information useful. Thanks so much for joining us, and I hope to see you in the cloud soon.